There was fights in the dressing room about the referendum. We're told we had to vote no if you played for fucking Rangers and all this kind of thing. And you're thinking, do you know what bigger problems like? Do you know what I mean? And, you kind of never want to feel sorry for their fans, but when fans read that kind of shit, you kind of think, what exactly am I paying money for here? I mean, you can't even run a club to that fucking limit. And then we have, I'm sure we'll come on to it, people like Ronnie Dyler who are like, we need to change this, we need to change the diet, we need to change the way we do things. And it's like, fucking burn the witch, you know what I mean? Get rid of him, he's far too fucking...
Oh, I know. They can't wait for him to fail. They're queuing up for him to fail. And some Celtic fans are buying into that shite as well.
Aye.
And I love nothing better than last night when Dyler, when he does the celebration at the end, he just goes to the fans. I know we're not speaking about the game yet, but I just love it because it rubs their noses in it because they fucking hate it. Mm-hmm. It's just, he's getting on folks' nerves and I'm starting to like him more week by week. Mm. But it's just the amateurish. It's just absolutely shocking. But nothing surprises you. Scottish football still ran with like a wee club of Masons, that don't want any outsiders in, and they're all right because they make 40 quid a week each. And it's just, I mean, the thing is, that's a New Year's Day game. Celtic fans that are travelling length and breadth of the country have made travel arrangements. A lot of the guys maybe stayed in the Hogmanay and things like that, and a lot of them have stayed off the drinking stuff. And then to drive to that game coming from everywhere, and they just don't give a shit because football fans are just treated like scum in the bottom of people's shoes. They're not catered for at all. They don't care about them. All they want is their money.
Yeah, very true. Right. Yeah. So I suppose it's a good point to go on to the game last night, the 2-0 win over Kilmarnock. Fairly odd lineup to start with, but overall I thought it was a great game in terms of like domination. I mean, probably could have been 4-5-0. I mean, Chris Commons had the bar more times than Oliver Reed. So, I mean, it was a good display. Shevchovich up front on his own. When I seen that, I was like, not too sure about this. But I thought he did well. Overall, he also played really well. Izagiri, go from Izagiri, absolute cracker. I mean, Paul, did you go to the game? Did anybody go to the game?
No, I didn't. I wasn't there, Joe. But no, I agree. I mean, it was... I think what he's done is he's tried to, we spoke about in the short length about the lack of width and all these wingers we've got never in the squad, etc. He's tried to compensate for that last night with playing Commons and Henderson, and it worked. Henderson, to me, has really matured even since last season. He's bigger, he's stronger, and he gets in about it. And we've kind of talked about it in the show a number of times that you think, Christ, he would be the actual ideal kind of Ronnie Dyler player. And hopefully now that'll push on. Commons, obviously, could have had about 30 fucking goals himself and won the Golden Boot last night with the amount of chances he had. And Johansson as well was immense. I mean, the body, Izagiri, things like that. And it's another one of the games where, I mean, we've seen it so often this season. Celtic could easily have scored 20 goals last night. I mean, the amount of it just total domination. And the only doubt you have in your head is, Christ, it's still only one now. It's still only one now. And if you do anything, But, I was certainly pleased. And I know the club is under siege at the minute because for some reason it was Ronnie Dyler's fault that the game got called off on Thursday and Aberdeen were able to go above us and things like that. I mean, I'm not panicking. I mean, the amount of times we've been in a position where 3 years ago it was Hearts, top of the league in January and all this kind of thing. League's only won in January. They're won in March and April when you need to have the bottle. And Aberdeen, I welcome their challenge and things like that, but I've never in the last 2 decades shown they have the bottle to win a big game when it really matters. And when it really matters is when you play league games against us and they've lost both of them. So, I welcome the challenge, and it's, Dundee United as well, pushing up there and stuff like that. But some of the stuff that's been thrown at Celtic and Ronnie Dyler and all that kind of thing, it's unbelievable. And I mean, I've read people over the weekend there saying, even if he wins the treble, I hope he fucking leaves, and I hope he doesn't even get the chance to win the treble. And I say, what the fuck are you talking about? You have no... Sorry, Jason, you go.
No, you weren't finished, mate. Carry on.
Well, I was just got to say that if you actually think that, just fuck off and support somebody else, because you're not a Celtic supporter. Do you know what I mean?
That's people. Do you know what that is? Well, that's internet people who are just so married to the narrative that they're not willing to change their mind or lose face to anybody at any time. It pisses you off. Like, we're quite happy.
I'm arguing guys on the internet, but guys I know that go to every game, and one of them had the audacity yesterday to turn around and tell me Celtic's only played 3 good games if we're lucky under Ronnie Dyler. I was like, what are you talking about? I rhymed off another 5 and says that's off the top of my head. And you're just like, where are you going with this? You know? And I find it absolutely incredible. I thought Celtic were immense last night. I know people say Kilmarnock are a poor side. That's a park that Celtic weren't even allowed to train on. Totally alien surface to what we were used to playing on. Kilmarnock playing it and training on it all the time. And we looked as if it was a surface that we played on. And to be fair, I thought the park was fantastic. I thought it lended to the way we play football. I thought our passing game was phenomenal. And I thought, to me, one of the most pleasing things last night, I thought Commons was out on his own. Commons was absolutely brilliant. But I thought Adam Matthews has been a worry for me. But I thought he was excellent last night. I know he got took off, but I thought he was really, really good. Young Henderson played really well, and glad to see Skepovic getting a goal. But I thought young Matthews was excellent. As a Geary, delighted to see him getting a goal. But you're right, Paul. You're towards the end of the game. You're saying it was 1-0. You're saying, oh, for God's sake, surely no. But I mean, you seen Derek McInnes. He was spewing. And then that Alan Johnson at the end, you know what I mean? I loved how Bruni says, well, they didn't let us practice in our park, we done no too bad, getting it right up them. And with Dial at the end, he just loves the away support, you know, away or thanking the away support, and Danny's wee thing, get it right up the lot of them, because I thought it was a fantastic performance, and glad to see. And they kept saying, is it because Aberdeen's where they are that it made you play well? They're always looking for a Celtic. You need to play well all the time. It's not as if even when Aberdeen weren't there, Celtic weren't trying. But here's a wee hang before you and Joe come in, Harper. But if you look back, see under Lennon, right, say the season we didn't qualify for the or maybe last season when we get knocked out with terrible Champions League run. And although we qualified, which is an achievement in itself, but you're knocked out a couple of the cups, and you're winning the league at a canter, and they're not happy. So now we're in all the cups, we're still in Europe after Christmas, we've got a bit of a challenge, and still they're not happy. So these people are never going to be happy, regardless of what Celtic do. They're kind of blaming Celtic for Rangers dying, and for the league kind of changing the demographics. And guys on Twitter were saying to me, Aberdeen haven't improved any. How have they not improved? There's been a vast improvement for them for the start of the season. I think Aberdeen's a bit of a decent unit now, and I think it's credit to them. But I just think people are never, ever going to be happy. I've supported Celtic. I've been going to games for nigh on nearly 40 years, which is a worry when you think about it like that. This is an absolute golden period in me following Celtic. You can dress it up how you want. We've won 3 in a row. We're on the verge of winning the 4th. We could potentially do a treble, and we're in Europe after Christmas. But they always say, but nothing. Just fuck off and give peace and let me enjoy going to watch Celtic.
Yeah, well said. I mean, that's
it just gets you so angry.
It does.
Do these people actually support the green and white hoops? You know, they demand, this isn't Celtic standard. What is Celtic standard? Guys like Paul McGugan and all that playing for us. You know, so what's Celtic standard based on? Is it based on Davy Hay standards, Billy McNeil, Dr. Joe, Wim Jansen, Martin O'Neill, Tommy Burns, Strachan, Big Mowbray, Lou Macari? Is it Lou Macari? Is that Celtic standards? So what is Celtic standards? This mythical standard that people bring up. All you need to do is just say to yourself, now, this is a golden period of watching Celtic.
Yeah, enjoy it, like.
Aye.
Some people
and don't be ashamed to celebrate it.
Yeah. Harbour.
Yes.
You there?
Yes.
I want Harper to give his opinion because he was a bit downbeat last week, so I'm waiting you.
No, I'm only going to give you my honest opinion every week, and I hope you know that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm never going to shy away from how I feel about things. I thought they were absolutely fantastic last night. For front to back to front. So everybody had a good game. I couldn't have fault anybody. Ambrose had one fucking dodgy pass. That sort of gave a ball away to a Kilmarnock player, but that was it. Like, no, in the first half they'd done that, and then we were in cruise control. Just what you're saying, like, you're always worried that you're only one up, so anything can happen. And obviously that you can get a breakaway, but to be honest, you felt that there was always a second goal coming. You really kind of thought, even the second goal, it could go third, fourth. I mean, Comets could have had 4 or 5 goals easy. Another day, would have had 4 or 5 goals. I kind of disagree about Sepovic. I didn't think he really done much. He was when he did get the ball, he was all right. He didn't panic. He never gave it away much. But I think that was more due to the fact that just players were playing so well in the middle. Commons was just any time he got the ball, he was hitting shots. I don't think Sepovic really got a chance to fluff his lines, if you know what I mean. And I still feel the centre forward is a wee bit isolated in that formation. But they played well. It was good to watch. It was good passing football. It was entertaining. Doesn't take away from what I felt last week. Still felt that I've not enjoyed a lot of the football this season, watching them, but I thoroughly enjoyed that last night. I will say Chris Commons is going to be a big loss to this team when he's on that kind of form, if he does leave in this transfer window. And so will big Virgil van Dijk walked through that game like he could have been played in his slippers. You know what I mean? He's going to be a big loss to the club as well, like if he does go in January as well. And it's funny, like I had a Man United fan come up to me yesterday asking me about Virgil van Dijk. Some guys that take no interest in Scottish football and that, because obviously this is all the talk now that they're on from Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal. So if that's true, then well, it just shows you what he's done for us as a player, that he's attracted that kind of interest. But I can assure you it'll be the money that goes with that kind of interest if he does leave, the money they'll have to pay for him. So is that a worry? It kind of is a worry. 2 of your best players, probably the 2 best players in Scottish football, might be walking out the door this month. But no, I enjoyed it. We'll just have to see what happens in the transfer window, what business we do. I'm still interested to see, same as what we said last week, who Dyla brings in, his kind of players. Already we see they've got the boy for Derry City on loan again, for a second trial, Duffy. I don't know anything about the player myself, but I was asking, obviously I mentioned there's a boy that plays with Bowes, played with Pats last season, works beside me. I was asking him, he says he's a very good player, a young winger, he's only 21 year old. He came up against him last season playing with Pats. He's a very, very good player, he says, and he thinks he could probably handle it at that level, playing with Celtic, playing in Scotland anyway, so we'll see how that turns out. And he's a winger, so obviously it's another Dial is still going after the wingers, and it just shows you maybe he's not been happy with the ones he's brought in so far on loan, which they've had this set the hell on fire, have they? In and out. But last night, just to go back to it, thoroughly enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. It was good Monday night. Look forward to it all day at work yesterday. Game, perfect happy days. And just what you said about the pitch, I thought the pitch looked excellent. You would hardly know it was even an artificial surface looking at it. But you would like to think that sort of technology has come on leaps and bounds for what it has years ago. Do you know what I mean? So, no, very happy.
No, that was good.
Excellent.
Great performance. I mean, Johansson.
Do you say that as if I sit here every week and just don't cry everything? That's because
I just enjoy winding you up.
It's fucking turned into therapy, folks.
You know, gin makes people emotional.
Aye. You be sitting on the stairs crying.
Listen, I need some tech help here. I put a link up for the Everton game because I'm not sitting in the living room, and it's gave us a wee pop up in my screen. How do I get rid of it without shutting everything down?
Should be like a.
I don't want to click on the pop up. It's one of the things that downloads shit in you.
There should be on your the top left corner, the little red X.
They usually, see the pop-ups, they usually have wee tiny X's on them, so if you even just miss it, it brings up the pop-up. Do you know what I mean? Is he on First Row Sports or something?
Aye, something like that. But I'm trying to put the X, it won't shut the thing down. I probably need to shut the full thing down.
You should be concentrating on this anyway.
I am.
Johansson, I mean, his creativity is really starting to have an impact. I mean, in terms of his passing and the spots he gets into. I mean, setting up Zakiri last night. I mean, that wasn't the easiest thing to do. And I think I like about him is he has the tenacity of Scott Brown, but he's a lot more creative. So Scott Brown can kind of do the dog work, then Johansson can kind of do the creative work, which is it's working out well that way at the minute. because I mean his passing is fantastic. I mean some of his runs last night were brilliant. I mean he should have had a goal himself.
Yeah,
A great chance.
I just feel